Welcome in to the Punt and Pass podcast. Thank you so much for being here. A live broadcast here in Athens, Georgia at Creature Comforts Brewery, the coldest beer, the best tasting beer right here in the Classic City. Thank you so much for being out here. My name is Drew Butler. This, of course, is legendary Georgia quarterback Jake Fromm. It's our 10th season of the podcast. Georgia football is 8-9 days away. We're so fired up to be here. Thank you so much for coming out, sir. Thank you, everybody, for being here. What do we have for you guys today? We got a great show. We got 45 minutes lined up. We're going to preview the Georgia season. We're going to go over the biggest games. We're going to give you our X factors on offense and defense. And then at the end of the show, call your friends up, get them out here from inside. We're giving away 4 tickets to next Saturday's home opener. Between the Hedges, the Dawgs take on Tennessee State. Kickoff is at 3 p.m. These are fantastic tickets. They're 100 level. They've got seat backs. You're going to have an awesome time. It's going to be fantastic. There is a trivia aspect as to who wins those tickets. So put your Georgia Bulldogs cap on. Georgia Athletics, University of Georgia, Athens trivia. We're going to have an awesome time. Thanks so much to Creature Comforts for having us out here. Jake, what's going on, man?
Man, I'm pumped to be here. It actually feels so much better this year than it did last year. It was 100 degrees last year, beating sun. So this is awesome. Great conditions.
Fantastic.
Great conditions. I've already actually previewed the conditions for next Saturday. Sunny and 90 degrees.
90 degrees.
The hydration starts now.
Yes, it
starts today.
I'm hydrating with an ice-cold Tropicalia. So thank you to our friends here for hosting us. This is going to be a fantastic night. It almost feels like fall, and I'm so excited. And I feel like I never give you enough credit. We've done this show now for, is this our 4th or 5th year doing this?
It's our number 5.
Number 5 with Jake Fromm. This is the 10th year of Punt and Pass, 5th year with Jake Fromm as my co-host. And 9 years ago, this guy, as a true freshman, absolutely put Georgia back on the map, right? I mean, SEC champions, Rose Bowl champions, national championship game. Just an incredible run. It was Kirby Smart's 2nd year here at the University of Georgia. Coach Smart going into year 11 in Athens. Now he's won 2 national championships. It's a great time to be a Georgia Bulldog. There is no doubt about it. I don't give you enough credit. We text on the side. I like to bust his chops. He's an awesome guy. He's got an awesome family as well. They're here, Caroline, Luke, and Cole, and my wife, Jackie. So we're so excited to be here. That might be a trivia question later on. So everybody listen to what I'm saying. You could win 4 tickets to the home opener for Georgia Bulldog. We couldn't be here without some of our partners, most notably Umberto Injury Law, mi amigo Umberto. He is a personal injury and workers' comp attorney. He's the best. He's won for me. He can win for you. If you get in trouble at work, if you get in a car accident, call Umberto, 770-888-8901, or go to umbertoinjurylaw.com. All right. Dogs are kicking off in 8.5 days. I cannot wait. It's going to be a great season. Gunnar Stockton's back, our starting quarterback. Our head coach, obviously, is back. Mike Bobo, our offensive coordinator, is back. So is our defensive coordinator, Glenn Schumann. That is a lot of continuity. You just don't get that much continuity in college football these days. I think that might be one of Georgia's biggest advantages heading into this season, Jake. You and I talked about it earlier this week. We mentioned the 3 C's or 4 C's. We'll try to see if we can remember them. Continuity, confidence, consistency.
I like it.
Competitiveness? What's the last C?
Comfortability.
Comfortability, if that's even a word.
Comfortability and continuity, they went together, right? They're one and the same. But you were mentioning about that coaching continuity. There's a ton of continuity as well with the players that are returning back. I mean, this team last year, they won a lot of football games, but they also won a lot of one-score games in the fourth quarter, late year. They know and they learned how to win last year. Now, that doesn't automatically mean success this year when it comes to these close one-score games, but it's a great place to start. This team comes in with a lot of confidence. There's just something about it from my experience in the NFL. When games are close, games are tight, you get into the fourth quarter, and on the sideline, you're just comfortable. You have a ton of confidence. Hey, we're going to find a way to win this football game rather than find a way to lose it. And that's what this Georgia football team brings to the table.
Comfortability. As soon as you said the weather's nice, the sun came out and is absolutely beating down on my back right now. I'm in a black
It's a
pullover.
great day to wear black.
Too funny. But I could not agree with you more. There's a certain quiet confidence around this team. Everybody's talking about Texas, Arch Manning, Cam Coleman, coming out of SEC Media Days. All of the media members were super high on Texas. Then, of course, you're hearing about some of the dark horses who could come up and make some noise. But it just seems to me like Kirby Smart and this coaching staff have a quiet confidence about the team that's taking the field in 8 days between the hedges. I'm fired up about that. 2 cupcakes to start, Tennessee State, Western Kentucky at home the following week. That's going to be the whiteout. Do we like the all-white jerseys? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Do we like the whiteout jerseys? Okay. White helmets, white jerseys at home, and white pants. I think it'll look pretty cool. It will obviously get the fans fired up. I'll probably throw some white on. I won't be wearing this black pullover in 2 Saturdays, but thoughts on that?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's really cool. I think if you look at it objectively and you weren't a Georgia fan or a traditionalist or anything like that, and you just looked at the jerseys, you're like, man, you know what? That's a pretty sweet outfit. Like they look good. Obviously, we have some traditional fans that maybe not like it quite as much, but I think they're awesome. I think it's just great. Gives the fans something to get hyped and excited about, and then it also helps in recruiting too. Everything is about recruiting. Can we get guys? And sometimes wearing the cool swag is part of it.
All right, so 3rd game of the year, we head to Arkansas. We play in Fayetteville. Last time we were in Fayetteville, I want to say it was the COVID season, and that was when Stetson Bennett took over in the second half. DeJuan Mathis, little grab bag of a name there. He started that game. He did not finish that game. That began the Stetson Bennett era. Did you ever play in Fayetteville?
I did not. No, that was the year kind of right before I left, and would have been a cool place to play. I know some of my baseball buddies who have gone up there and played and said it is a really sweet venue up there in Fayetteville. And their fans are awesome. They're loud. They have all the crazy, weird chants, woo, pig suey, and all the stuff. So it's a loud and rowdy place. And it's not a game you just walk into and a team's going to roll over. New head coach there, and they're going to be fired up, ready to play.
They will be fired up. They have a new head coach, Ryan Silverfield. He came from Memphis. He kind of ruffled some feathers during SEC Media Days as well, taking some pot shots. I think he took a little cheap shot at Kirby Smart as well. But that's what you have to do. So no love lost there. All the way back in 2009, I played in Fayetteville. It was a night game, Georgia at Arkansas, and it was a total offensive shootout. I think we won 52-48 or something like that.
Arkansas was good.
Ryan Mallett was the starting quarterback at Arkansas. May he rest in peace. He was a total stud. And Joe Cox absolutely went off in that game. He earned Walter Camp Player of the Week honors as the best player in the nation that week.
Really?
We won that game. I have a very funny story about that game, and I'll tell it right now. It was a night game. We used to take 3 regional Delta jets out of Ben Epps Airport for away games in the SEC. So it was our first road game of the year. You're getting on these small planes, flying to Fayetteville. Well, we're flying back late night. It's like 2 a.m. when we're landing. Keep in mind, this is a lot of guys' first flight ever, right? Going to Arkansas, a lot of guys on the roster, first flight ever. Well, coming back, the weather in Athens, not good. Raining, thunderstorms. We're trying to land these regional jets in at Ben Epps Airport, and we do a flyby on the runway. So we go down. They pull the jet up. You've never seen so many 300-pound guys crying, screaming. They were going nuts. I'll never forget it. It was one of the funniest things. We landed safely, obviously.
No way.
No time to celebrate because it was like 3 a.m. when we landed, but wow, that was a memory. Going to Arkansas is going to be awesome.
Yeah, 2 quick plain stories from my time. One's at Georgia, so we go and play Florida down in Jacksonville. Okay, win, kick their butt, everything's great. However, on the plane ride heading back home, before we take off, one of the planes is having mechanical trouble.
Sure.
So we had 2 planes. You guys had 3. 2 somewhat big birds. Ben Epps can't take the big birds.
So you were flying into Hartsfield.
Yep. No. Yeah, we were coming back. Well, one of the planes couldn't take off. And so Kirby switches planes, and it was like an offensive plane, And we got to come back and then leave half the team still sitting there in Jacksonville, and they didn't get back until 6 a.m. in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
Awful, awful, awful. And then one time in the NFL, I can't remember who I was playing with, but we had a cross-country trip and finished the game. We're coming back. Everybody's asleep. It's the middle of the night. And then all of a sudden, man, we hit some kind of jet stream, and just the entire plane just drops like 50 foot out of the sky. And half the people in the plane wake up on the ceiling of the plane.
Oh, really? It jumped them out like that.
And then slammed down and back into their seats. So, you know it on NFL planes. The same rules do not apply when you like flying commercial. You know, you can walk around, you can eat. Nobody wears a seatbelt. But
nobody wears a seatbelt. Absolutely nobody wears a seatbelt.
I promise. After that, there were a lot of folks wearing a seatbelt on the way home.
All right, so if we're on the plane topic, which is always good, going back to 3 planes, there was the offensive plane, the defensive plane, and I was on the 3rd plane as a specialist. We called it the AYO plane, the all you others. So that's what we called that. But if you ever hear a flight attendant tell you turn your phone off, buckle your seatbelt, raise your seat back up,
it's all bogus.
It's all fugazi, no question about that. One time we played in Colorado. We went to Colorado in 2010.
Yeah.
I got to sit in the cockpit when we landed. I asked the pilot before we took off, hey, can I sit in that jump seat? He goes, yeah, sure. I mean, come on. Ask the flight attendant 20 minutes before we land. So I got to sit in the cockpit.
That's awesome.
Good times on those planes, no doubt about it. All right, 4th week of the season, we digress. Oklahoma comes to Athens. This is going to be an awesome game. It's a flex game right now, so either 3:30 or 7:30. I would expect it to be a night game. It's going to be a huge atmosphere. Oklahoma head coach Brent Venables, the former defensive coordinator at Clemson, John Mateer, their quarterback. He was a Heisman favorite before he broke his hand last year.
I don't know what John Mateer is on, but whatever that product is, you guys know what I'm talking about. Whatever he's on, I got to find it, dude, because that guy – body transformation. He gained 20 pounds. He's ripped up. He's throwing heaters over there at practice. There's a video clip. I mean, he's doing the quick release drill and hitting the net every single time. So, man, what can Oklahoma be this year? I have no idea, but they are definitely playing with a lot of confidence right now in training camp.
They are playing with a lot of confidence, and their defense is what's going to carry them, and it is what carried them through the second half or middle part of last season as well, because when Mateer was out, they kept winning football games. And I think Brent Venables knows that this game in Athens, September 26th, is one that he can really put a feather in his cap in if they were to upset the Georgia Bulldogs. So I would expect both of those teams to be undefeated. I think Oklahoma goes to Michigan in week 2. So if they win that game, pencil it in. It's going to be a night game here in Athens. I'm really looking forward to that. Should be an absolutely electric atmosphere between the hedges. Moving on to the schedule, we're touching on the biggest games of the year. October 10th, Georgia goes back to Tuscaloosa. Okay? This one's going to be tough for me to talk about. I was at the game 2 years ago in Tuscaloosa with my wife, Jackie, who's right here, who is an Alabama fan. You can boo her. You can throw beer on her. We'll forgive you after the show. But this is going to be an absolutely massive game. Alabama just named their starting quarterback, Keelan Russell. I texted Jake this morning. I was watching some tape on this guy. He looks really good. Yeah. He looks super athletic. He can throw the rock. They were showing some of his high school film as well. This guy can get outside the pocket, run around the field. And if you know anything about Kirby Smart's dominant 10 seasons at Georgia, he has the most trouble against mobile quarterbacks. And that's exactly what Keelan Russell is.
Yeah, you took the topic right out of my mouth on that one. I've been on the bad receiving end of a dual threat quarterback coming in, giving the team life against these Alabama teams. And just the system that we play, man, it's about containment. It's about pushing the interior part of the pocket. And, man, it is very tough for us sometimes to make adjustments. We play so much match on defense. It's zone, but it's match. It's got a lot of man principles built into it. And you just have a lot of defenders that don't have their eyes on the quarterback. So when a guy is able to escape the pocket and get outside, it can really cause some problems. And so that's going to be Alabama's, kind of go-to. It's going to be our kryptonite in this one. Kalen DeBoer was a guy we were talking about during the spring of possibly being on the hot seat going into the season, but he gets an extension.
I know, it's crazy.
He's good to go. So he's playing with house money this year, and I think he's gonna let it rip off the call sheet, especially
What does he have to lose
when they play Georgia and they come into town, and that's always going to be a big game. Definitely going to be circled, and I feel like we play on the road over there way more often than we play them here.
So tell me about that. On the road in Tuscaloosa, I believe Georgia hasn't won there since 2007, which was my freshman year when Matthew Stafford hit Mikey Henderson in overtime on the first play of Georgia's possession to seal it. But when you haven't won at a place in 19 years, what is that mindset like for a team? What is that mindset like for Kirby Smart when that's literally one of the very few boogeymen at Alabama that hangs over this football program?
I think it matters more. I hate to say this, but I think it matters more for Kirby and for the coaches than it does the players. I think the players, honestly, could care less nowadays. There's just not as much investment as I would say into the program, into history. It's just a different world in college football. But I think it matters for Kirby, whether he wants to admit it or not. I think he's got a little edge to him when he goes over there and he plays, and he wants to win that football game more than anybody. He's going to give it his best shot, and I think he's just going to let his guys get after it. And how can he tell the team that week, hey, cut it loose, play free, and just don't worry about consequences?
I mean, it couldn't have gone much worse 2 years ago. I don't know how many of y'all were there at Bryant-Denny Stadium. First half was an absolute train wreck, and it was not going well. Carson Beck obviously led the charge back. The defense woke up a little bit, and then Ryan Williams had one of the best plays in the last 10 years of college football to allow Alabama to get that victory. But October 10th in Tuscaloosa, Georgia takes on Alabama. I'd be shocked if it's not a night game, obviously, but that is going to be one of the games circled on this calendar as we head towards the season. The very next week, October 17th, I'd have to check with Jeff Dantzler, our buddy who's going to be calling the Dawgs this year, when the last time is Georgia played Alabama and Auburn in back-to-back weeks in the regular season. Auburn comes to Athens on October 17th, and the Alex Golish era begins on the Plains. They've recruited and transferred in a ton of guys from South Florida who, of course, beat the Florida Gators a year ago, led by Byron Brown, who is the new starting quarterback for the Tigers. And I tell you what, I like Alex Golish. I like his demeanor. I like what he says to the media. He says, I don't hunt, I don't fish, I don't play golf. I coach football. And it seems like Auburn kind of needs that culture shift, and he's the right guy for it.
Yeah, when you kind of go back and you look at the Indiana experiment, right? New head coach comes in, trying to revamp the program, brings a lot of his guys from his previous stop over. It's much easier to build culture that way. And much easier to get the things installed and instilled into your players that you want to happen. And I think he's doing a good job over there kind of building his program. And that you never know what you're going to get out of first-year head coaches. You know, is it a rebuild year and there's things to learn? Or are they going to come out swinging hot and heavy? And I just there's so many question marks when it comes to this Auburn football team and what it is. It's kind of weird playing Auburn in October. I'm so used to playing Auburn in November.
Yeah.
So that's kind of a weird and different thing, but I think for our guys, it's just another name on the schedule, and that's just part of the new parity we find ourselves with college football. It becomes more like an NFL schedule.
Yeah.
You just have to be ready every single week.
All right, so you're from Warner Robins, as one of our listeners told us earlier. Jake Fromm is from Warner Robins. Growing up in Warner Robins, what's the split like? Is it all Georgia fans? Is it Georgia and Auburn fans? If you live in Columbus, you know, obviously it's Georgia-Auburn. Yep. I'm from Atlanta. It's Georgia Tech. You go down to South Georgia. It's Georgia-Florida. What's the split like in Warner Robins?
Definitely heavy Georgia, but you find yourselves kind of split between these three. It'll be Auburn, it'll be Florida, and it'll be Alabama.
Gotcha.
So you kind of never know, man. You know, my pastor growing up, biggest Alabama fan you've ever met. He's from Alabama.
But he's right with the Lord.
He is.
Okay,
he
somehow.
Is. There is forgiveness. There is forgiveness for sins.
Good to know.
Man, Florida fans everywhere. And then, man, even my house is kind of divided. And my brother went to Auburn. So
that's right.
A lot of Auburn folks
Tyler
as well.
Fromm went to Auburn. Yep. There you go. All right, so that'll be a good game. Auburn at home. Weather should be turning October 17th. That's when we know we're going to start getting into the meat of the SEC schedule. Then a couple of weeks later, Georgia's going to get a bye week after that Auburn game, and we're heading down 316 to go back to our home away from home, Mercedes-Benz Stadium, to take on the Florida Gators in Atlanta. That's right. Georgia, Florida will be in Atlanta this year. It will be in Tampa next year. And then we're back to Jacksonville once that beautiful new stadium is finally constructed. But Florida, Georgia, in Atlanta on Halloween Day. It's going to be awesome. John Summerall, another new head coach in the SEC, takes over for the Florida Gators. He had a ton of success at Troy. Yep. He goes and takes the next step, goes to Tulane, has a ton of success at Tulane. And the Gators grab him after firing Billy Napier in the middle of last season. I was just at a conference in Palo Alto out at Stanford University about a month ago, and I saw a player from Troy. And I talked to him, and I said, what are your thoughts on John Summerall? This guy gave the most rave reviews of John Summerall I've ever heard, of a player talking about a coach. I owe that man everything. He's the best coach. Florida's going to win a national championship one day. I said, whoa. And then you hear this guy talk to the media. No nonsense. Did you guys see what he did with the weight room at Florida? They had like some big stretch of artificial turf to do like speed training in the weight room. He goes, get this out of here. The weight room is for lifting weights. I need my guys to be big and strong. They renovated the weight room. I think that they just redid like a year ago because he said, my guys need to train the right way.
Yeah, man, he's coming in, making a lot of changes. I remember going down to Florida on the recruiting trail and the recruiting visits, and Florida was a little bit behind the times and behind the eight ball when it came to their facilities and the weight room especially. So him making the changes in the weight room is going to be a big deal. Also when we talk about Florida, Buster Faulkner, former Georgia guy at Georgia Tech. Now he's the OC there. I actually have a teammate on staff, Rylan Godey.
That's right. Godey's there.
He played tight end here as well. So, and the starting quarterback for the Florida Gators this year is an Athens guy, Aaron Philo. So, man, there's a lot of connections here. It's going to be a return home for a lot of the coaches at Florida. They definitely have this one circled. This would be a huge notch in the Summerall belt if he's able to steal this one. I don't think it will happen, but playing in this game at Mercedes-Benz Stadium is going to be huge. Such a huge deal for us. It is home away from home, like you said, for us. And I know our fans love going there and winning football games there.
No, you're exactly right. I mean, the Creature Comforts, yes, I went there. Shout out to Creature Comforts, where we're broadcasting this live podcast from tonight. The Creature Comforts that Georgia has inside Mercedes-Benz Stadium as of late, Jake, that's got to mean a lot. So you would expect that to be an awesome game. Of course, it's a 3:30 kick. Should be a fantastic atmosphere. Halloween, that'll be a fun one. Dawgs, Gators in Atlanta on October 31st. Then the next week, guys, I mean, think about this stretch of Georgia's schedule. At Alabama on October 10th, home versus Auburn on October 17th, a bye week, Florida in Atlanta, and then you hit the road and go to Oxford to take on Ole Miss November 7th. Trinidad Chambliss, a Heisman frontrunner in the preseason. He torched us in the Sugar Bowl last year. Pete Golding has taken over as the head coach. This is a Sugar Bowl rematch from this past January, which I think was one of the better games of the entire season. This game, Jake, is going to be massive. Huge college football playoff implications. Dawgs at Ole Miss on November the 7th.
Yeah, Trinidad Chambliss has the respect of a ton of people throughout the Georgia football program, through the coaching circle. I mean, this guy, I wouldn't go on to say they're scared of this guy, but, man, there is so much respect for the way Trinidad Chambliss plays quarterback, plays the position, what he's able to do. We talked about our defense not necessarily being geared up for these agile quarterbacks and able to make these off-schedule plays. And, man, he's one of those guys. He did it to us at the Sugar Bowl last year that we were at. And, man, it's going to be a tough game. And, man, we have that game circled. And, man, playing this team 3 times within a year, I believe, is a lot. Man, this is becoming a very comfortable game for us. As far as knowing your opponent, it's going to be different. It's not going to have the Lane Kiffin effect. It was still a Lane Kiffin team last year in the Sugar Bowl, but this team's all Pete Golding's team. And how will they be different? Will they put more emphasis on defense? Will they still let Trinidad Chambliss do his deal on offense? I don't know. There's a lot of unknowns there, what they do on offense, but this is a fantastic player. They have revamped, and they've got a lot of players back. They lost to LSU, and what can Ole Miss be? I don't know. But, man, you just start going throughout the schedule, and then it's just tough team after tough team.
It really is.
Tough team.
9 conference games this year for all SEC teams, which I do not agree with. I don't think Kirby Smart or many head coaches in the SEC agree with it either. But we talk so much about Trinidad Chambliss. Of course, the Lane Kiffin cloud still hangs over Ole Miss, not even mentioning Kyron Lacey, who might be the best running back in the entire nation. Ole Miss is a team that everybody has to watch out for. Dawgs are going back to Columbia, South Carolina, second to last week of the season. It is November the 21st. I'm fired up for this game. I mean, when I played at Georgia, it was always South Carolina the second week of the season, yep. And you were training all through fall camp, getting ready for that South Carolina game. Shane Beamer's got a very hot seat. Lenora Sellers is back. Dylan Stewart is back. South Carolina always has a ton of talent. If they are alive in the slightest sense, talking ranked 20th, ranked 22nd, and Georgia's been taking care of business, and they're ranked anywhere in the top 10, this immediately becomes a huge college football playoff circled game in Columbia late in the season. Thankfully, the weather will be a bit cooler, but I'm excited for Georgia to go back to Columbia.
Yeah, can Lenore Sellers have this, revamp of the player that he is? You know, he has a huge ceiling. You know, can he be a Cam Newton-type player? Because he looks like Cam Newton out there. I mean, can he take over a football game? He's got another training camp under his belt, another spring football camp under his belt, and they're going to look to have a lot of things thrown on him into his hands, and can he take over a football game? And they're going to try to let him do it. Man, I'm looking at this schedule. John Mateer, Keelan Russell, whoever Auburn has, Florida, Aaron Philo, Ole Miss, Trinidad Chambliss, and then South Carolina, Lenore Sellers. We're going to figure out at some point during the season to stop an agile running quarterback some way, some form. So, man, when we kind of get into, hopefully, right, the college football playoff and we play a dual threat guy, we're going to have some answers because we're going to see these guys all throughout the season and figure out what works and what doesn't.
And, you know, mentioning all those names and how athletic they are, I'd be remiss not to at least throw a lot of love towards Gunnar Stockton, who's proven that he can be that dual threat guy. I mean, this guy tucks the ball, runs up the middle, gets tough yardage, moves the chains. I think Gunnar Stockton does not get enough love for his athleticism in the grand scheme of things when you're talking about these elite dual threat quarterbacks. So Georgia's going to be fine in that regard. But to your point, Jake, it's more so about how do you stop these guys?
Yeah. Is it more zone? Is it cover one with more of a spy? Is it bringing pressure to make them feel uncomfortable to try to make a decision before they're ready? I mean, you made the greatest point of, hey, they are seeing a dual threat guy every single day in practice.
Yeah.
Gunnar has also had the intentionality throughout camp to deliver more from the pocket and become a better pocket passer. But that's still, you know, something in Gunnar's bag. It's something in his back pocket that he's able to do. So I think we have the toughest guy in college football playing quarterback.
I would agree.
And that gives me a ton of confidence as a fan now of whatever it takes, our guy's going to find a way to do it.
All right, so by this point in the season, we're heading into the last week of the regular season. I think it's fair to say Georgia's lost 1, maybe 2 games. I mean, guys, I'm just telling you, I'm shooting you straight. 9-game SEC regular season, you're bound to have one of them where the quarterback's turning the ball over, or maybe the defense doesn't intercept that ball that hits them. Injuries can happen. There's going to be a lot of attrition in the SEC this year. I think it's a little bit pie in the sky to think Georgia's just going to go 12-0, run through the regular season, get back to Atlanta.
Are you trying to get the Georgia Bulldog fans to, like, manage expectations this year?
A little bit. And I'm not a shock jock by any means, but I just think looking at what a 9-game schedule can do, and knock on wood, we're not seeing any right now in front of us here at Creature Comforts, but Georgia has not had many injuries throughout fall camp, thankfully. I don't even want to say that. It makes me feel bad, but they're in a good spot. It's just going to be a long season. We'll see what happens. Last week of the regular season back here in Athens, Georgia takes on the enemy, Georgia Tech. A lot of changeover at Georgia Tech. You mentioned it. Buster Faulkner down at Florida now. Haynes King, who had one of the greatest preseason debuts for anybody in the NFL. He's no longer the quarterback for the Yellow Jackets. I think it could be a long year on the flats, but this game's always really tough. Georgia hosts Tech, last game of the regular season, November 28th here in Athens.
It was a tough game last year. And I will say this, probably not supposed to, but, last year when they played, you think it's a very comfortable opponent, someone you know a lot, and it's the end of the year. Going back to the Michigan scandal, right, and stealing signs.
Sure.
Well, apparently, man, there were a lot of folks there maybe on the Georgia Tech side that kind of knew what we were doing.
That's what you heard. Sources tell you.
And so
interesting.
And so how do you manage, what you're doing on offense throughout the entirety of the season? And do you have the dummy guys? Are you constantly switching things up about who your signaler is? Do you get into the huddle more often? Because, man, when you play someone that you're going to see every single year, they know what you're doing offensively. And, man, they did a great job of stopping us last year.
Yeah,
especially
they did, man. We were there.
Especially on offense. The good thing here for us in this situation is they don't have Haynes King.
Yeah.
Haynes King, man, was a difference maker. He made that show run over
ACC
there.
Player of the Year.
Man, he is such a good football player. Wish him all the success in the NFL. Hope he finds a way on the rosters. Things kind of finalize up here soon. But, man, college football player, he is one of the best college football players in his era for sure.
Yeah, you and I were in the stadium last year at Mercedes-Benz, Georgia versus Georgia Tech, and when it got into like a knockdown, drag-out defensive battle, I didn't sweat one bit.
Right.
I had no thoughts of Georgia losing that game. It's when you get in those shootouts and Georgia can't stop a team, that's what gives me the most worry. So if Georgia's able to manage that regular season, everyone, I would think they're going to find themselves back in Atlanta for their 10th SEC opponent of the year. And if they win that game, guess what? They're going to get that extended bye. And now that's the big boogeyman hanging over Georgia's program. How do we get past that quarterfinal? We've lost the last two Sugar Bowls to Notre Dame and Ole Miss, not being able to advance into the semifinals. But I say all that because the regular season is going to be tough. I found a little interesting nugget this morning when I was preparing for this very podcast. There's been two stadiums that Kirby Smart has not won in yet. At Alabama, at Ole Miss. Georgia goes to both this year. All right, so that will become a talking point for sure. Kirby Smart has not beat Alabama in Alabama. He has not beat Ole Miss inside Vaught-Hemingway Stadium. Of course, he's never played in the Swamp, but he's beaten every other SEC team on the road. So just watch out.
So this is Drew Butler again, trying to get everybody to manage expectations.
Sorry,
for this.
I don't want to be the bearer of bad news.
You go 10-2, possibly have the shot at the SEC championship game. 11-1, you think you're there. I think if you go 10-2, I think we have to win the first round in the college football playoff.
Which I think would be great. I mean, wouldn't we all love a home college football playoff game 500 yards from where we're sitting right now? The atmosphere would be awesome.
Unbelievable.
We'd be taking on, probably a group of 6 team, like a Tulane or like a whoever it might be.
Probably a BYU.
Why not? Bring them in here. And then we'll just keep the momentum rolling. That's proven to be the secret sauce.
It worked last year for Miami.
Of the college football playoff.
Who, by the way, I mentioned to say this earlier. I was kind of dogging Miami on last week's episode. We're talking about teams that found themselves in the top 10 going into the season, but ended up falling way out of the top 25 later on. And I mentioned Miami. Well, my UPS driver at the house, huge Miami guy.
Big Punt and Pass listener?
He is a big Punt and Pass listener.
Okay, good.
Shout out to him. He was a little upset with me about my take on Miami not being this good, that good this year. Man, and he goes through the roster, line item by line item. Man. And he tells me who this guy is and where he's from. And the whole time I'm like, man, am I the biggest idiot in the world for my take? So there's a chance later on in future episodes where I may kind of walk back my take on Miami. Okay. But the biggest thing I asked him, I was like, hey, what about the edge rushers? Because that was such the secret sauce for you guys last year. But apparently, man, they reloaded in that regard and in that room. And I think Miami's going to end up being a good football team this year, too.
Yeah, I heard that Miami has spent around $40 million just on their football roster for this upcoming season, led by Darian Mensah, the quarterback transfer they got from Duke. Mark Fletcher Jr. is still there. Malachi Toney, who's one of the best freshmen in the country, is still there. Who's going to step up on defense for Miami? We'll wait and see. But who's going to step up for the Dawgs in a big way in 2026? Let's talk about X factors. Let's go offense, defense, special teams. You can leave the special teams to me.
Gotcha.
I won't hold it against you. But on the offensive side of the ball, somebody's going to step up. I'd like to see it in the first 2 weeks of the season, Jake, against the Tennessee State and a Western Kentucky. We all know Gunnar Stockton's going to do his thing. We all know Nate Frazier's going to get the majority of the carries. Lawson Lucky's proven that he's going to be the guy at tight end. Who's an X factor on offense for the Dawgs that you think could be a big difference maker coming up this season?
Yeah, so obviously the obvious one is, man, can Gunnar play at an even higher level than he did last year? Okay, Gunnar is your obvious take. You mentioned Nate Frazier. I think we have to run the ball with better success, more efficiently this year than we did last year. And I know that we're going to want to throw the ball because Gunnar has improved a ton as a passer. Well, he's got to throw the ball to someone, okay? Talon Taylor, I think he needs to step up in his role and be a go-to guy on the outside. Man, Isaiah Kenyon on the outside, man, he is fantastic. When Georgia is playing their best on offense, man, we have a big X receiver to throw the ball to, right? A security blanket. Hey, we're getting man coverage. Hey, we know we can throw up a 50-50 ball, and our guy's going to go and make it happen, right? I think about my guys, Javon Wims, and I think about Lawrence Cager and a couple other guys that I had. And, man, I knew I could always go to them to win a one-on-one matchup. Kind of an off-the-wall X factor, I think, could be a guy, Caden Prothro.
Okay, I like this.
I'm going to the tight end room. Our tight end room is absolutely loaded. I think you'll see us play a lot of 12 personnel this year, especially on normal down and distance. Does 12 turn into also third and medium and try to find some matchups? Man, big bodies. Let's use our matchups to our advantage, man. And this guy is making waves in camps, catching balls, and he's kind of further down the depth chart. But I could see he's a young guy, but I could see as the season progresses, him getting more confidence and getting more game time reps.
Yeah, when Georgia's offense is performing best, their tight ends are shining.
100%.
Todd Hartley, our tight ends coach, was a student assistant when I was at Georgia, specifically on special teams, helping me clock punts and fetch balls. So shout out to Todd Hartley. He's one of the best in the nation, no question about it. My offensive X factor is Isaiah Kenyon. It is that big body receiver. He transferred in from Georgia Tech. He's 6'4". I can't wait to see what kind of synergy that him and Gunnar Stockton have. I think we'll be able to see it in the first halves against Tennessee State and against Western Kentucky because, like you said, back shoulder, 50-50 balls, 3rd and 6. Where's Gunnar going? You know the defenses are going to be dialed in on those tight ends in those situations. So if Isaiah Kenyon, 1, can prove himself to be that security blanket, but 2, he's got speed down the field as well. He could be a great dual threat wide receiver. So Isaiah Kenyon, the transfer from Georgia Tech, is my X factor on offense. Let's go to the defensive side of the ball. I'll start. I'm hearing so much about this guy throughout fall camp. He played great a year ago. One of the biggest concerns about Georgia's defense last year was, man, we're getting a lot of pressure in the pocket. Man, we're disrupting the quarterback a ton, but where are the sacks? We need a sack master. When you played, it was Davin Bellamy coming off the edge and literally creating sack fumbles, hopefully, once a game. When those 21 and 22 teams were there, Jalen Carter, Jordan Davis, they were getting so much pressure up the middle that these edge rushers were literally getting the quarterback on the ground. It makes all the difference. Chris Cole is my X factor for this Georgia defense. And here's the thing that excites me the most about hearing so much about Chris Cole is you're not hearing about KJ Bolton as much. You're not hearing about Ellis Robinson, who had a great second half of last season.
He looked good in camp, too.
He's looked really good in camp. Elijah Griffin, he's going into his second year. I think that will help him a ton in his development. Chris Cole, get the quarterback on the ground, get sacks. He's my X factor.
Yeah, I like that. I'm going to stay on the defensive line as well. In Georgia, when they are playing their best and on defense, man, the interior part of the defensive line is so important, man. There's going to be a ton on Elijah Griffin's plate this year. We need him to be that guy.
Yeah.
We don't need to ask him to be that guy. We need him to be that guy. Man, we play so many dual threat quarterbacks throughout this schedule. When you're able to push the pocket from the interior, it is so uncomfortable to play the position as a quarterback. You can't step into anything. You feel like you have to make decisions before they're ready. You're throwing balls. Guys aren't open yet. Hey, are they going to come out on this corner out a little higher or a little flatter? I don't know. The guy is 3 steps away from making his break, but I have to throw this ball because I don't have time. And Elijah Griffin's going to do such a good job for the rest of the defense, for the KJ Boltons, for the Ellis Robinsons, and give those guys opportunities to make these splash plays, to get these turnovers. And I think it starts with Elijah Griffin.
Can't wait to see him play, man. I mean, he's been getting a ton of love. Again, going into that second year as well, having an offseason under your belt, being in the program, I think Elijah Griffin's going to have a really good season.
I've seen that be so fruitful for these young defensive linemen like a Jordan Davis, right? The first year he was there with us, man, this guy was over there getting cardio in on the sideline, just trying to get in shape and make weight. And not that Elijah Griffin's had that same problem, but man, seeing these guys the second year of the program, maybe even their third, and just turn into just absolute brutes of football players, man, they get in the weight room, they get with Coach Sinclair, they get stronger, man, they understand the system, and they're going to play with a ton of confidence. And, man, this is a guy that we need to play great this year.
All right, special teams. Here's my X factor, okay? It's more of a situational X factor. Peyton Woodring's back, our field goal kicker. Great field goal kicker. Very reliable. We need to stretch the field a little bit. I hope he's been in that weight room with Coach Sinclair. I hope he's been getting his lessons in on how to maybe add a little distance, because when you have a place kicker in this day and age of college football who's money from 50+, it changes the outcome of games. And that's really the only knock on Peyton. He's a fantastic kicker. You got to be able to bang down a 55-yarder when your number's called. I'm not saying it's easy. I want the distance on the ball. If he's missing it in the net, left of the upright, all right, I know he's got the leg strength. If we're going out there trying a 60-yarder, end of half, all right, I know the coaches trust him. I hope Peyton Woodring, this season specifically, has the opportunity to have the coaching staff rely on him from 50+.
I think you underestimate kind of the thought process of a quarterback, right? Especially a guy like Gunner who's been in the system. And when you have a guy who is good from 50 and maybe 50+, it changes my decision-making. Hey, man, I'm sitting there on the fringe, right? I'm on the 35. I'm on the 40. It's 3rd and 8. Hey, I don't have to get the whole thing. I don't have to convert. Man, I know a check down to Nate Frazier, and he's going to be strong and be tough and fall forward for 4 or 5 yards. Man, that's all it takes.
Yep.
It takes a lot of pressure off my plate. Man, I think about Rodrigo and going back to the Rose Bowl kick. Yep. When they just gave us the squib kick. Hey,
such a huge kick.
Hey, man, we go out, we call a play, and, man, I knew that I didn't have to push the ball 50 yards down the field in order to make a play. Man, we throw something to the sideline, and boom, Rodrigo goes out there and kicks a 50-something yarder.
Has there ever been a more consequential end-of-half field goal than Rodrigo's 55-yarder in the Rose Bowl? I mean, it was bleak. We were getting smoked. Rodrigo makes the kick. It's like, well, we might have a chance.
Yeah.
And that changed everything. So let's see Peyton Woodring make some long field goals this year. It's going to be a great season here between the hedges. We're so fired up. We are just a week and a couple of days away from the start of the 2026 season for the Georgia Bulldogs. We're live here at Creature Comforts Brewery in Athens. And now it's time to give away 4 tickets to the home opener against Tennessee State, coming up in a few weeks. If you want to play, I've got 10 questions. All right, come up here. I've got pencils. I've got paper. Write your team name. I need 10 lines. You're going to bring them up. We're going to grade you guys, okay? We'll do a little rapid fire. Come on up. Yeah, don't be scared. Thank you very much. Grab a pencil. Grab a piece of paper. Write your team name on it.
These are 4 tickets.
4 tickets.
Which game is this?
100 level. Next week against Tennessee State. They've got the seat backs on them. It's going to be fantastic. I promise you. I've got 10 questions, okay? They go from easy to harder, all right? Whoever has the most responses correctly wins 4 tickets. Give me your email address. I will send them directly to you after we wrap up here. This has been so much fun. Shout out to Umberto Injury Law, one of our great partners. Prize Picks is back this year as well. Just got that email. Super fired up. Shout out to Adam Wexler, former CEO of Prize Picks. They had a big year.
Yes, they did.
They had a big year. But we, Punt and Pass, have been the first ever podcast partner for Prize Picks. How about that? Going back like 7 years ago. So shout out to Prize Picks. All right, is everybody ready? Write your team name down. I need some creative team names. I'm going to have my score sheet right here as well. So I'll get your team names after the fact. And again, first couple questions, pretty easy. You should get on the board. Here is the first question. Which Georgia quarterback led the Bulldogs to a national championship appearance in his freshman season after a thrilling overtime victory in the Rose Bowl against Oklahoma? Which Georgia quarterback led the Bulldogs to a national championship appearance in his freshman season after a thrilling overtime victory in the Rose Bowl against Oklahoma?
I hope that's a layup question.
That is most certainly a layup question.
So.
We're getting on the board early. We're gaining confidence for everybody, okay?
All right, question number 2.
Hold on. Give him a little more time.
I got excited.
I'm not seeing a lot of cell phones out. Good. Keep the cell phones on. This is important, people. All right, cell phones. Integrity is the name of the game. All right? Go ahead, Jake. Second question.
All right, question number 2. Drew Butler was UGA's first ever Ray Guy Award winner back in 2009. How old are you, Drew?
I'm 37 now, Coach. Yeah, I'm old.
Who won the Ray Guy Award in 2025 as the nation's best punter? 2025.
All right. Think about where we are.
Face down, under.
Yes. Think about where we are. These answers don't stray too far, folks, okay? They don't stray too far. All right, question number 3. I think everybody's got it. If you don't, you probably don't know it, so sorry about that. Question number 3. Who is the athletic director for the University of Georgia? Who is the athletic director for the University of Georgia? I'm seeing some concerned faces in the back left there.
That's not good. We'll throw the plug in there that he is also the best athletic director.
He is the best athletic director.
In the country.
He is the best athletic director. I'll take this next one, Jake.
Okay.
Everybody ready for question 4? All right, just look around, okay? Just open up your eyes. It's a beautiful Thursday night here in Athens, Georgia. Look at where we are. Could life get any better? Question number 4. This tropical tasting IPA, which comes in a blue and orange can and brewed in Athens, Georgia, is widely considered as one of the best beers in the country.
There we go.
This tropical tasting IPA, which comes in an orange and blue can and is brewed 30 feet away from me, is widely considered as one of the best beers in the country. All right. Everybody got that one? Okay. Question 5, Jake.
All right. Question number 5. Which Athens-based rock band played 2 nights ago at the Georgia Theater last Thursday and Friday?
2 nights last Thursday and Friday. Which Athens rock band played 2 nights last week, Thursday and Friday at the Georgia Theater?
I didn't know this one.
You didn't know that one?
No.
Okay.
I live 15 minutes away from here.
Okay. It was a good time, so I heard. Great band, too. A lot of good music. All right, question 6. How many times has Oklahoma played between the hedges at Sanford Stadium? How many times has Oklahoma played between the hedges at Sanford Stadium?
See a couple blank faces on this one. A couple shrugs. Do we know? I didn't know the answer to this one.
You didn't know that either?
No, I did not.
Come on, Jake.
I did not.
Come on, man.
Probably need a multiple choice test on that one. That one's kind of tough. All right, everybody ready for the next one?
All right, this is a good one here. Next one's pretty good. Jake's going to read it out. Take your time. Put your thinking caps on. Go ahead, Jake.
All right, so this is kind of a hot topic in college football. Hey, I'm glad you didn't make this question number 5 out of respect.
Yes.
I
should have done that.
That's really good. That's
done
really, really nice of you. All right, which jersey numbers are retired at UGA? Which jersey numbers are retired for the Georgia football program? Name as many as you can. I will give you a hint. There are 1, 2, 3, 4.
Good job.
Retired numbers.
I like that. Take your time. It's a good one. One probably very obvious.
Yep.
The other's not so obvious.
No.
There's only 99 numbers on a football team. If you don't know, take your guess. All right, question number 8.
But please write down 4 numbers, though.
Question number 8. Yes, that would be great. We would love to see some of the guesses if you don't know. Certainly take a guess. This former All-SEC Georgia offensive lineman from 2007 to 2010 played for 8 years with the Cincinnati Bengals and has been the most recurring guest on Punt and Pass over 10 seasons. This is a deep cut. If you know this one, you are most certainly a Georgia and a Punt and Pass fan. This former All-SEC Georgia offensive lineman from 2007 to 2010 played 8 years with the Cincinnati Bengals and has been the most recurring guest on Punt and Pass over 10 seasons. Little inside note, he was my college roommate.
What a guy. Too.
And it might be the reason why we have 4 tickets to give away to next week's game. Hence, him being in this trivia list. Throwing him a bone. As I told him I would.
Dude, what a nice guy, man. 4
Fantastic
tickets?
Guy, yeah.
That's a big deal.
It's a big deal. With the seatbacks in the 100 level.
Hey,
it's sold out.
2 tickets? That's fine. That's cool.
4
tickets?
Bring the family.
That's a big deal.
Call your mother-in-law that you haven't talked to in 3.5 years and make amends. Why not?
Make amends.
Make amends.
Oh.
All right, question 9, Jake.
Everybody
Fire
good
away.
there? All right. Which song plays before kickoff between the hedges, which has now become synonymous with UGA football?
I'm just proud that you pronounced synonymous correctly. Good
Dude,
job.
have
Jake.
you seen those clips on TikTok and Instagram where they give someone an index card?
Oh, God, yeah.
Hey, can you read the sentence? You know,
Yeah.
full of rendezvous
And usually it's like in Athens at 1:30 a.m. where people can hardly say their own names correctly. But yes, those are very funny.
Those are hilarious.
All right, question number 9. Which song plays before kickoff between the hedges, which has now become synonymous with Georgia football? And the last question. Here we go, folks. Who is the new voice of the Georgia Bulldogs for football games this fall on the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network? Who is the new voice of the Georgia Bulldogs for football games this fall on the radio broadcast for the Georgia Bulldogs Sports Network? That is your last and final question. It was his birthday yesterday, so happy birthday to him.
Happy birthday.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw one group get it right.
Yes.
I could read lips out here.
Somebody knew immediately. All right, bring them on up. If you're ready, bring them on up. We're going to tally them up. I've got the answers here. We will make sure there will be no recount. Don't stop the count. Don't stop the count. What's the team name? Salty
The
Dog.
Salty Dogs.
All right, go ahead, Jake. Tell me how many you got right.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Oh, no. Okay,
What?
4. 5.
5, no. 6, yes.
Yes.
4.
Oh, look at this. They got number 8 right. Wow.
Let's go.
Wow. All right, I'll take this one. We'll tally up here.
I don't think we got
The Frominators. Love that team name.
We got anywhere close.
Team Trop. Okay, I hope you got that one right.
Taco Shed. There you go. I like it.
All right.
Shout out Warner Robbins.
Okay, we got 4. Here we go.
Good deal.
Team name is Drink Sunglow. Oh, I like that. Sunglow. Okay.
Hey, what are we doing on question 7? If we got
Question
one-
7, you just got to tally it up. How many did they get correct? It looks like they got 2, right?
1.
Oh, no, just 1. They were a couple off.
Couple off.
Close, though. Okay, so how many did they get right? 1,
8.
2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
8 with 1.
8 with 1. That's pretty damn good.
That's
Shout out to
good.
Salty Dog. All right,
Not very good.
the Big Dogs. All right, hold on, Big Dogs.
What's the other name?
We got
Big Dog.
the Frominators. We got Big Dogs.
Which
We got Salty Dog.
I'm
Team
going to have to be
Trop,
partial
and
to
Sunglow.
is the best name here. Appreciate it, guys.
Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5,
Wow.
6.
Uh-oh.
Here. No. 7, 8. And how many did they get right there? Oh, we might have to do a runoff here.
Whoa.
Okay, check how many they got there.
That would just.
That's
they
the
got
big
2. Oh.
Oh, they got 2.
They got 2. No.
No,
Sorry,
just
false
1.
Alarm, false alarm. False
Just
alarm.
1. Close, though. If you
8.
combine 2 of those numbers, you
Yeah.
get 1. That's tough. So check that again. I think that's 8 plus 1.
Yep. 1,
See what Sunglow
2,
got here.
3, 4, 5,
1.
6, 7.
3.
No, they got 9. Not 9. And they got 9 and then 1.
I do like Sunglow. One of the number. Oh, I thought it was D5. It's 05. Okay, Sunglow, you're out. I'm sorry. Thank you so much for playing, though.
Big
Team
Dog.
Trop.
Big Dog's got it.
1, 2, 3. Oh, they got 2 here, so that's 4, 5. Nope. Team Trop out. Frominators. I need to look it up.
My Big Dogs are here.
So we might have a runoff between the Big Dogs and the Salty Dogs. Hold on, though. 1, 2, 3, Ooh, they got 2 here. 4, no, 5. Okay, thank you, Frominators. You're out. Let's do one more recount here on the Salty Dogs and the Frominators.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And technically we gave them 1.
Correct.
That one. So they're at 9. And the only question we missed here was 1 plus that one. So we got a runoff.
So is that 9? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 plus 1.
Yep.
All right, we've got some decisions to make here. We've got the Salty Dogs and the Big Dogs. Who are the Big Dogs? Right up front. We could do a couple of things. We've got 4 tickets. Do we want 4 or do we want to split them 2 and 2? What do you guys think? Do you want 4 or do you want 2 and 2? It's totally up to you guys. Split them. I'm going to make sure I can split them, and if not, but I've got 4 tickets, so I think we'll be able to. You guys got Clint Bowling correctly, which is phenomenal. That's awesome. So congratulations. Shout out to Clint Bowling. That tells me you've been listening. No, fantastic. All right, we're going to figure this out. We might go to a runoff, but thank you so much for being here.
Let's just have one random off-the-wall question.
I'm trying to think of what one could be. These guys know ball. They are ball knowers for sure. So I'm trying to figure out how we can make it most fair in terms of Georgia and Athens. The numbers. Oh, correct. That's a great one. So both of you obviously got 30.
You got Herschel. Great job. We got Frank Sinkwich, 21.
Theron Sapp, 40.
Yep. And Charlie Trippy at 62. You guys are close. You guys were very close.
So I did a talk last year at the Augusta Bulldog Club. It was right around this time, right before kickoff. Theron Sapp was there. He's like 92 years old, and he looks freaking amazing. He stood up. He gave me the big muscle flex. Shout out to Theron Sapp. The reason why his numbers retired is because Georgia had lost 8 straight to Georgia Tech, which we just tied this past year, and he ran the ball in late. He ended the drought, and they retired his number 40, Mr. Theron Sapp. Absolutely fantastic. Guys, this has been awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out.
Thank y'all.
10th season of Punt Pass kicks off. Dogs are back between the hedges next week. I'm Drew Butler. This is Jake Fromm. Follow us on social media at Punt Pass. Please subscribe to the YouTube page, Punt Pass, as well. Thank you very much for being out here. Shout out to Creature Comforts as well. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll talk to you next week. See you.
We out.